Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mike Haggith, and I'm coming to you live from the south end of Thompson Drive. And if you look behind me, it's finally happening. Last year, we were canceled due to COVID, but this year we are back and bigger than ever. It is the 2021 Thompson Santa Claus Parade. And what a crowd, too. I don't know if we can pan down and take a look at this at some point, but just seeing everybody here. We've got a few changes this year to the format from years past. First off, they've expanded the parade route, and where we're coming from is actually part of that expansion here outside the Northern Spirit Manor and over to the hospital as well, which is really great for all of our valued healthcare workers who cannot take the day off. They can at least enjoy some of this holiday cheer along with all of us. So that's super cool. They've expanded the parade route. It's going to go all the way down Thompson Drive to CREE Road and hang a right, and it's going to go all the way up. The main reason for that is to allow a bigger crowd to assemble but still maintain some social distancing. All right. I don't think Orange Cab is in it this year, but I guess we don't know for sure. And it appears Santa might have had a little too much eggnog. Good thing the police are there to take care of him, so they're going to get him all sorted out here. Of course, this is the RCMP batting leadoff today, and I think they've got him sorted out. So as we were saying, they've expanded the parade route today to encourage some social distancing and allow a bigger crowd to gather. Also new this year, we are gathering the crowd only on one side of the road, and that's just to prevent people from kind of running back and forth. And also keeping the parade on one side of the road encourages the through traffic to be able to keep going. Next up, we have our MLA, Danielle Adams from the area, our NDP rep. Hey Danielle, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, thanks. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, enjoying this wonderful weather.
It's a beautiful day. Next up, Howling Wolf Tours. They provide outdoor excursions all around the Thompson area, and of course they've got their little inflatable Santa as well. What an awesome little display that is. It should also be mentioned that the majority of participants this year are handing out candy. Now, instead of just throwing the candy out and letting all the kids just run out into the middle of the street, which obviously creates some issues, this year we're doing things a little bit different, right? So we can see down there how we've got everybody with bags, and they're just kind of coming around and they're just giving candy to all the kids and sort of encouraging them not to run out into the middle of the street. I think we can all appreciate that. All right, next up we have House Mouse Residential Cleaning Services, and that's Judith there. Hey Judith. They provide residential cleaning services all through Thompson. You can find the majority of the participants this year all on social media. They're all on Facebook. A majority of them, I believe, also do have their own websites as well. So that's super cool, and those are some amazing dogs. Coming up next, we have the Thompson Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber of Commerce is a lot of business owners. Now it's an entirely volunteer organization, and it's super cool to see them involved again.
Merry Christmas! Ho, 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 ho!
Right on, there we go.
Santa Claus.
All right, we got some free candy cane for our awesome cameraman here. Moving on, we've got Thompson TRAILBREAKERS. You just saw their groomer. You just saw their trail groomer drive on by here. The traffic's just slowed for a moment so that everybody can take in all of the awesome participants. So they are responsible for grooming a lot of the trails that the snow machines use throughout the summer, and there they go. What a cool machine that is too. Next up we have Tatasquik Security Inc. And of course, as we've mentioned before, all of the volunteers, or correction, all of the participants are predominantly volunteers. All right. Oh, cool. I got a blow pop. All right. This has been the best day ever now. All right. Thank you very much to De Beer Consulting, security training and private investigation services. If you need a PI, you know where to go. All right. Next up, we have the only elementary school entry into this year's Thompson Santa Parade, and those are the Deerwood Dragons. It's Deerwood Elementary School. Lots of candy, oh, and some chips. Everybody's having a great time. Fantastic. All right. You're on TV. Yeah. They even stopped the parade right in front so you could be on TV longer. Merry Christmas indeed. What a cool little trailer they've got there too. Nice looking tree. All right, getting into some floats in a minute here. And of course, a lot of you in Thompson are going to recognize this next name. Smoke Contractors, of course, with big local ties and a big rig to go with.
Merry Christmas! There you go, buddy!
Well, that was a good throw. They got it almost right to them. Of course, Smook is well known for a lot of construction and maintenance contracts all around the city. Great local ties and good involvement as well. All right, and as the parade moves on, we'll just give a quick shout out to a couple of our affiliates. First of all, 102.9 CHTM FM. They've been carrying a whole lot of promotional audio for the parade this year. And of course, you cannot get music on a lot of these floats without a whole lot of work behind the scenes. So if we're going to talk about infrastructure real quick, then we do have to give a huge shout out to the City of Thompson, and of course that's their truck coming right up here. Of course, the City of Thompson had to do all the road maintenance in order to get everything ready to go. They also had to clear out large portions of sidewalk on the parade side so that everybody could gather and do so safely without standing in 4 feet of snow. And frankly, they've just done a fantastic job. They've also upped their banner efforts all around the city, just really trying to beautify it for the holiday season, as well as doubling up on the lights and decorations in the McLean Park area, just outside of City Hall. So for those of you in the Thompson area, I do highly recommend checking that out if you haven't already. Of course, when it comes to getting music powered on a lot of these floats, there's a lot of stuff that we don't necessarily think about. But apart from the volunteers decorating the floats, the people driving, the people assembling, hooking up the trailers, riding on the floats, handing out the candy, there's also a need for a lot of PA systems and just a general need for amplification of a lot of music. So among those who have chipped in to help are music makers. They have supplied a lot of the musical element today, so we did want to give a big shout out to them, and we'll talk a little bit more about them a little later on. For now, the Salvation Army. Hey there. Sure, yeah, we'll take a pamphlet right on. Thank you so much, and a free candy cane. All right, the day's looking up already. Very good. So the Salvation Army, of course, very well known for their community efforts all around Thompson, and of course every community all around North America, really, and beyond. They also do run a thrift shop here in town. They fundraise, and they really do give back to the community, and it's great to see them here today. And here we go, the Thompson Kin Club. Speaking of community involvement, we're going to keep that going here. The Kin Club are very involved with youth and community programming. And of course, they are responsible for the one, the only Rudy the Raven, who's riding in the back of a pickup truck today. Super cool and good to see him. Wow, more candy canes! And a Merry Christmas from Reflect Signs, always doing something super cool. They've been involved in the parade for a number of years, and this is awesome. They've gone with the Minion theme this year, and they've done a fantastic job with it. A couple of them have fallen over, but maybe that's by design. Absolutely awesome to see. Reflect Signs. And you can, of course, check them out on Facebook as well, as you can with the majority of our entrants today. Next up is the Thompson Recycling Center. Of course, it's great to see them involved as well. Now they lead a lot of the recycling initiatives in the community. They also distribute lots of great information. If you've ever wondered if that can or that juice container is recyclable, you can always find them. They're always happy to help and provide all the information they can. Also, next up we have MacDonald Youth Services, a long-time participant in the Thompson Santa Parade, and of course a great community involvement as well. They run a lot of youth shelters and provide a lot of resources for young people in group homes. And a great Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas from the Friendship Center, indeed. What a cool float this is. We've got a full-on gingerbread house, a Christmas tree, and a whole bunch of really cool stuff. Inflatable snowmen. Very cool. Well, moving right along here, folks, as you can see, we do not have a shortage of participants in this year's parade, and that is great to see. A little bit of history for you here. The Santa Parade in Thompson was officially relaunched in 2011, and coming into the 2015 season, there was actually a surprising lack of entries, and the city thought that they might be forced to cancel the event. However, it ended up being the biggest Santa Parade yet, as everybody came out to oh, thank you so much. All right. Thank you. Merry Christmas. I just got a free mint. Love it. So yeah, 2015, they thought they were going to have to cancel, and then it ended up being the exact opposite. It ended up being the biggest one yet, and ever since we've had a fantastic showing, just an absolute ton of entries. Speaking of which, Red Septic Service and SETTARC Welding, of course, in their partnership, as they have been for a long time, and there, of course, is the Red Septic Service truck. Now, between Reds and SETTARC, they've been partnered up and participating in the relaunched parade for quite a number of years, which is super cool to see, and we certainly do appreciate it. And what a fantastic float they've got there. Next up, we've got the University College of the North and their mascot Peyton, who was just named a couple of years ago. And a Merry Christmas from UCN. Fantastic. Of course, UCN is a huge part of the Thompson community, and it's great to see them. Yeah, you're on TV! Merry Christmas from the Manitoba Wildfire Service. And that is a super, super awesome float that they've put together here. Next up, we've got Valet. Now, Valet have been a part of the Thompson Santa Parade ever since its relaunch in 2011. So some of our longest running participants here. And they never fail to they never cease to amaze, rather, never fail to disappoint. Wait a minute, never disappoint. Oh well, anyway, it's cold out here and my brain doesn't work. But I do certainly mean that they never fail to impress. That's the one. We finally got it right. It took 4 tries, but we're there. Look at that float, though. Just a fantastic amount of work. And of course, as I've mentioned, all of the fine folks over at Valet who have participated do so on their own time. Next up, we have the fine folks from NCN and another fantastic float. It's such a great job with the decorating this year. Really, really cool to see. Of course, our friends over at Manitoba Hydro have been a long-time supporter of the Santa Parade as well. And they're heading on by now. It should be noted that the Manitoba Hydro folks who participate in the Thompson Parade do so from the Thompson office and not the Winnipeg corporate office. So these are all locals for us who know the community well, who serve the community, who do great things for us, and of course they're volunteering their time to put on this awesome display, to throw these floats together, and to spread some holiday cheer with the rest of us. Next up, we have Mahican bus lines. Well, I always say that you can't go a single day without learning something new, and in my research for today's event, I did learn something new. Mahican is CREE for wolf, and that's of course why you see the wolf in the logo on the Mahican bus lines. Now, they provide service down to Winnipeg and are a very valuable asset to the community and keeping us connected to the rest of the world. They just launched a daytime service as well, so check all that out online. Mahican bus lines, you can find them online and on Facebook as well. Next up, we have Dreamliner Road Rescue Limited. They provide roadside assistance. They typically help out with big rigs and that sort of thing. And I need to give a personal thank you to these fine folks as well. As we were talking earlier about music makers and all the great work that they do, the PAs that they supply, the sound work that they do, they are actually putting on all the sound for tonight's fundraising concert at the Legion, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But their van had a flat tire today, and it was actually Dreamliner Road Rescue who came to the rescue to get the Music Makers van back up and running about just a couple hours before we went live, actually. So a huge thank you to them for keeping everything going here. And now, of course, we have the grand finale from the Thompson Fire and EMS crews, the one, the only Santa and Mrs. Claus. Of course, this is also great news for those of you who live in Thompson, to see the fire crews out here and to see the ladder truck taking part in the parade, because that means there is not currently an emergency which requires the use of the ladder truck. So this is good. Santa's wondering if our cameraman Paul has been a good boy this year. Paul, have you been a good boy this year?
Half of it, yeah.
Oh yes, he has. To our fine folks over at the Thompson EMS. That is fantastic. So there you have it, folks. That is the 2021 Santa Claus Parade here in Thompson. It's been so great to take part in this. Of course, we've seen the crowds. Everybody's having such a great time, and why wouldn't they? This has been just awesome. So I did want to mention a few things. First of all, again, 1029, thank you so much to the fine folks over at CHTM for all the work that they've done in helping us promote this event. Of course, everybody at Shaw Spotlight, including our friendly cameraman Paul back there, the real unsung hero today. Also, I did want to give a shout out to Music Makers again for providing some of the PA systems, and of course they are also providing the sound for tonight's show at the Legion. So being outside the Northern Spirit Manor is probably I don't think they're part of the parade. Being outside the Senior Center is really great segue for this. We are fundraising for the seniors hampers today. Of course, the Friendship Center as well as Salvation Army are a huge help in organizing all of this as well. But we have a Fundraising is a Laughing Matter show happening tonight at the Royal Canadian Legion on Elizabeth Drive here in downtown Thompson, Manitoba. Of course, Music Makers is providing the sound for that. Admission is $25. You can get tickets at the door or at a fine variety of retailers all around the city. David James is your headlining act. He is a fantastic comedian, best known for his work with 1029. And we do have some local openers, and not to spoil anything, but I might happen to be one of them, playing a bunch of songs that I wrote and trying to huck a bunch of CDs at you. So that's going to be super cool. You learn more about that all on Facebook. For now, the crowd down here is starting to thin out as the parade slowly makes its way down Thompson Drive and over to CREE Road. So I think that's going to do it for all of us here. On behalf of all of us and to all of you, this has been absolutely fantastic. Season's greetings, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, we're right there with you. My name's Mike, and this is Shaw Spotlight, and thanks so much for joining us.